is a platform where we address a diverse number of topics. Today, our topic of discussion is Masters Abroad, and for this discussion, our guest joining us today is Mr. Yasar. I welcome you, sir.
Hello, everybody.
Now, as we know that nowadays a lot of students are planning to apply for their masters in international universities. Today, we'll talk about all those aspects that our aspiring students need to be aware of. Like, when we apply for the international universities, we get two choices. Either we choose English as the international language or the local language of that place. Likewise, we learn a lot more about the same from our guest, Yasir sir, today. So, to begin with, when is the right time for a student to apply for these international universities?
All right. Usually, there are a lot of segments how a bachelor graduate or a student from school pass out has to check. That is, should I talk about the masters alone or the bachelors as well, or how is it?
So, you can talk about both of them, masters.
Masters as well. All right. So every country would have different time frame based on what they will be graduating. Some of them might get their degree or they might have to work with the provisional degrees. But this time, Germany is not accepting any provision certificate as such. You need to wait till your convocation, and only after then you can apply for your course. And if you're trying for English medium, so as an Indian, English medium is very commonly taken up, and then there's the other option for German medium courses. And if you see globally, Germany is providing free education system, and the free education system goes on well with the German medium. And there are courses as well that go with English medium free education system as well. But then there are different streams where you need to take up. So if it's going to be management, yes, you have options, but it's going to be private colleges than the public universities. And public universities in Germany is the best option that you can take off. And I wouldn't suggest you to go with the private ones, because more often private universities will give you admissions, but then again, you see there's a huge downfall when you talk about job expectations and part-time jobs as such. So if you know the local language only, then you're going to get admitted, or you're going to get a job as a part-time job or an internship, or and Germany particularly is a country where, I mean, it's a financial capital of Europe. Now, you see there's a huge competition. It's not just about Indians studying in Germany, it's also the poor countries, poorer than India as well, like countries like Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, and all those parts, Gulf countries would be focusing on Germany, and especially the Saudi Arabia is being more into Germany, and it's a financial capital of Europe. So there's a huge job expectations. What people have it, and they search for jobs, and more logos are coming from Germany, so they want to get there. And English speaking jobs as such, it's going to be just 10%, but it's just 1% of Indian category where you'll be getting an English oriented. So the best time I would recommend for masters would be the winter semesters. You can focus on winter semesters, and yes, again, you need to search which particular course you're going to, because if it's going to be management, it's going to be different. Again, engineering, there's a huge various streams for engineering, and every other college would be providing you in a different way. So I would suggest you go through that particular college website rather than any common website. Now, again, we have a source called daad.de, DAD, which is a good source, and there's this called Hochschule search in Germany, and you can search with that. There's also websites called makeitingermany.com.de. Sorry, Make It in Germany. You can Google it for it, and there's a portal for live chat, and you can opt for a live chat session, and you can ask them directly. They will guide you through, and mostly you're going to talk with the citizens of Germany there, so it'll be easy for you to cope up. Winter semesters, because globally people are going to get in then at that time, and there are also summer semesters as well. But then you see summer semesters is very minimum, very less. So I would suggest go for a winter term. And why winter term? You will also enjoy the December period, and yeah, there are more options based on that.
So, after a student completes his graduation, should he directly apply for these international universities or should he gain some job experience first? Because we know that that works pretty much nicely in India, and if we have some job experience, so that pays off in the end. So, does the same work in international universities as well?
Okay, now there are two things. One is job and one is career. If I talk specially about Germany, because English and German language is different, but then the word job is still is in German and career is still is in German. So it's the same word with different meanings in German language as such. So for job, job means part-time jobs. It's usually part-time jobs and the pay is hourly, and it need not be the same work that you're going to, I mean, like you study management and you work in management. It doesn't need supposed to be like that. You can be a fine arts student and still you can work as a management team. So that's a job. And career, it's completely based on your studies. You study English, you will work in hospitality particularly. Literature, you work in that particular stream, but you can't get out of that. So you have two options again. And then I would suggest you start working, do your internship right from your bachelor's so that you get experience, and based on experience you will be opting your part-time jobs as such. And then you will be getting paid hourly, and I would suggest you go for an opt-in option where you get your pay online rather than getting in cash, because there's again taxation system that goes on there, and it's always mandatory. It's good to get a soft cash than I mean, not get a cash, but get it in your bank account so that your taxations are being filed up easily. And there are a lot of negative aspects as well. If you go for cash, then the taxation law would be in a different way. So that's not good for an international immigrant. And yeah, it's better you go for universities which provide you a job. It might be teaching assistants. It might be arrangement work in a library, or might be a small shop or a kiosk. So that is helpful for you. And law says that you need to work for that particular hour. More than that, you won't be able to work. But then I would recommend you that if you're going to work for more hours, as how the law says here in India, what the German has always told us, you need to file up for taxations. And as soon as you get into Germany, you will be getting a taxation number for yourself, and they will record your works every day. So monthly you will be getting a particular note that you need to pay this much amount. You might not work anywhere, but still you might get an amount to pay. That might be your radio tax, or might be a television tax, a newspaper tax, or something like that. And then again you need to claim for it that you won't be able to pay because you're a student, or might be you're not opting for a land or a property that is, the landlord is already paying the tax for you, so you don't have to pay. It's not mandatory for everyone, but then again, if you're getting more than 900 euros per month, again you need to pay based on your amount. If you're getting more than 900, it's something else. They will have a particular table where it will be all recorded. If it's going to be more than 1200 euros, again you need to pay based on that particular tablet.
So, besides all the international formalities, what documents does the native country require for the international studies?
Okay. Regarding the list, it would be better if you go with the German Missionary of India website. Okay, again, German Missionary. You can check there for the checklist for the student visa requirements, and again, student visas are of different types. Now, first visa, I mean, documents regarding it might be for visa and as well as for the college applications again, right? So there's a different stream now. There is something called as Uni Assist that's going to guide you through the process, and Uni Assist handles a particular, the majority of your public universities is under Uni Assist where it handles, and then you have particular colleges like TUM or Max Muller from Munich. So it's they handle their own self application system. So in that case, you might need to send them the documents attested by the German consulate or German embassy, or might be a notary stuff, and then you pack your things and send it to Germany, and they will check there. That's one way. You go to UniAssist and you gather the documents. The checklist is available on German Missionary for the visa, and UniAssist website they have particularly listed down. But it would be major thing would be the degree, your transcript or mark sheets that you will be getting, and then you have your school leaving certificates as education qualifications, and then work experiences, your number of internships that you have done, or summer internships or works that you have done, your achievements as well. So mostly education work is the major thing, and then you have your passport, Aadhaar card, and other identity verifications. That would be it.
So, which areas in Germany are suitable for Indians or for Asians in general to study?
Okay, now after the reunification of Germany, it's been very generalized east or the west. But then you see, West Germany has been developing more than the East Germany. And I don't want to categorize both the sections, but I'll talk regarding now. It's 2022 already, and I would suggest you go for the nine TUs. That's been like, you know, much more higher category than the IITs of India. So TU9 we have technical universities, and then we have Stuttgart University. So TU9, under TU9 there are nine particular universities, technical universities as such. That is very recommendable. And then comes your half private, half government based university, under which we have RWTH, International University as well. And then furthermore classify it, then it would be like we have technical universities, which is very equivalent to the global universities anywhere in India. It might be as equal to the Yales or Harvard and the Indian IITs as well. The next category comes is the Hochschule and Fachhochschule. Now, technical universities are generalized. Hochschule and Fachhochschule is different. Fachhochschule is very subjective, and doing masters in Fachhochschule will they won't provide you with PhDs. Like you study masters in Fachhochschule and then it's done. You cannot go further on. It's more practical oriented. Only 10 to 15 students will be there in one classroom, and yeah, as told earlier, it's not going to be theory oriented. You won't have a thesis to clear. You need to be working as a, as a practitioner. You would be working directly into the company, and you won't be getting particular thesis projects to complete. So there's no PhD in that. And then comes Hochschule. Now Hochschule is something very generalized college where you have again masters and then PhDs, and then you can do more often other things. And then yeah, a guy who studies in Fachhochschule first, and then if he has to do PhD in some cases, then he has to do a second masters in Hochschule or TUs, and then get into the PhD.
So, after students apply for these international universities, what challenges do they have to deal with in general?
Okay, first thing is the cultural shock. Cultural shock as such, the clothing, the temperature, the language, of course, and English is something what we know is very globalized these days. Yes, English they do speak, but then there is again another factor of racism that happens everywhere. It's not just India; it's everywhere in the country where they don't like other country people to be in their mother country, and it happens. So language, I would suggest you to start learning if you have already fixed your mind for Germany. Particularly German is not so easy, not so tough. It's been in the middle, and I have been working with my colleagues from China, from Vietnam, and from Russia who have no idea about English. They don't speak English at all, like zero. But then their German is really good, and they are not like born and bottom in Germany. They have been studying. They have studied their bachelor's in their mother country in their mother tongue, and then they come here. They study in German medium. So I don't think it's challenging, and yes, it's easy to pick up. There are lots of smart ways to learn German, and I have been learning German as well. So yeah, every language has that particular frequency of toughness. It's okay. You memorize the words, vocabularies is the one thing, and then you have to fix it with the grammar and speaking. So if you're in the metro cities, it's okay. You can survive with English, but then if you want to move, you want to travel somewhere. If you're in some particular town where your TUs are there, your college is there, and you need to find a home, you need to find your SIM card, you need to do shopping. Especially for shopping, if I have to say, you need to learn German. Okay, at least you need to know the basic things of classifying water. Now, if I have to talk about water, if you will be finding Germans are very different in that particular case. Now, water is what we know. Water is a plain water, but in Germany, people drink soda as water. They call soda as water. They don't classify it particularly as soda. They call it sparkling water. Yeah. So you're very thirsty. if you rush into, I had to rush once and then into the supermarket, and I wanted to buy a bottle. It was written natural water. I had no idea that natural water is in English a brand name for a German company, and I had to drink soda eventually. So I wasted my money on a soda, and I was thirsty, and it was very freaking me out at that time. It was the first shopping that I ever did, buying a soda, and then I got to know that water, you need to be, the language plays really very important role to do anything basically.
So, for a student who belongs from a middle class family, what loan procedures are there for him so that he can continue his studies abroad? Because we have a number of students who belong to the middle class family. So, what loan procedures are there available for them, and how can they deal with it?
Okay, so as per the law, you need a block account particularly, and that block account is for a year. It varies, it keeps on changing, but now I have no idea what it's been now. It's around 8,000 to 9,000 or 10,000 euros. It's been fluctuating periodically. So you need to find out that particular amount, and that amount for block account will be needed whenever you go for a visa, reissuing a visa again. So you will be getting 3 months visa first. You go there, and then you need to, after the 3 months visa, you need to come up with your semester registration ticket, and then the visa will be given to you based on that particular semester. Maximum you will be getting 11 months. So within 11 months you are not going to get another one within that. There's no extension for that, because there are a lot of students who have been misusing the visa as such. So they might just do the job, they might not attend the college as well. So they have been like that. And then based on loan, if I talk about loan now, every country has their own particular numbers where you need to fit in. For example, if I have to say Canada or Australia, they're going to give you in crores. So the minimum starting package will be around 50 lakhs to more than 4 crores, 6 crores and stuff like that, because they know that particular amount is needed, and they might have particular rules. And for Germany, I don't think they have such. Minimum would be around 20 lakhs, 15 lakhs to 20 lakhs. And if you see, if I have to convert the block amount numbers into Indian rupees, it would be around say 10 to 11 lakhs. Yeah. So that particular 10 to 11 lakhs that you have, add on your expenses, your clothing, your food, your tickets, the visa. Visa is going to be 6,000 rupees, so it's not much. So again, together, if I have to say, if I have to do, I would do it in 15 lakhs. Okay. Right from your tickets, your food, your packaging, the bags that you will be taking back to the country, and the visa, it's all done. So everything will be there around 15 lakhs to 20 lakhs maximum. It depends, again, boys less, girls more. And again, there are do's and don'ts that you can do that, to save your money as such. You can make less of shopping for your winters. Again, you have a weightage category. You need to, if you don't want to pay extra to the flight tickets again. So it would be around, like, say, a flight ticket would cost you from 20,000 to 1 lakh, or might be 2 lakhs, depending upon the timeline. Yeah. So that's that. So let's see if we could get between 15 lakhs to 20 lakhs, if it's the loan amount, if it's going to be, it's very easily that you will be getting. And there are a lot of online block account systems that you can do. I wouldn't suggest you to go with a bank system. Earlier we used to have Deutsche Bank and Kodak Mahindra's thing, what we make block account with the bank, and then we make another block account in that particular country, and then transfer the amount there. It's a very old system, and today we have the online banking system. N25 or N26 bank is there, and then we have Expatrio and stuff like that. So you can go with that, FinBank and stuff. So that's pretty easy. Your loan amount is not going to be that tough. Every particular country, they have their own systems, but then as a middle class family, it's I wouldn't say it's more challenging, but it's more easier to get. All you need to show is the confident level. I mean, your marks. It's going to play an important role for the loan amount, and then your experience. If you have experience in your mother country, only then they will make sure, there would be an assurity that you're not going to waste the money. You're going to get the money again. So that's there. And again, you will be getting a particular time frame, like 2 years to 4 years, within which you need to pay back your loan again. So based on that, it might change. I would suggest you that you get into the country, you will be creating 2 bank accounts. One will be the current account, one will be the block account. In the blog account, you will have the money, the whole 10,000 euros, for example. Monthly, they will take 800 euros or 900 euros. That is, if it's going to be 9,000 or 10,000, that is divided by 12. Monthly, you will be getting an amount as a paycheck. Like your money, you're getting your money again in your bank account. So you need to keep on rotating that money back into the blog account. You can keep the money in the blog account, but you can't spend it. That must be the system. If you're going to follow this particular concept, you don't have to actually check for both the countries. Now, if I have to compare this system with Canada, now Canada doesn't see this sort of a system, but Germany is little bit, focuses on 2 years of masters or 3 years of masters. Every year you need to have money in that particular block account to extend your visa. Now again, block account, you have the money, 2 years you put in, and then you have graduated within 2 years. Now you don't want to use the block amount. After 2 years, you pay back the loan with the interest. It's done. But then you want to stay back, and then there's no block account. So you want to stay in the country, and there must be some sort of financial support to get your visa extended. At that case, you can use your work contract that you will be getting. Now every work will be having a contract. Any work without a contract is an illegal system there. So in that particular case, there will be mentioned that monthly you will be getting that amount, and monthly whatsoever you're getting in the block account must match with the contract amount. So if it's matching, you're good to go. You don't need a block account then. You can directly use your contract in the place of block account, and you can get your study visa extended. There might be chances where a person doesn't want to do the masters for 2 years. It might be extended for 3 years or 4 years or 7 years. It depends. Again, you're not supposed to fail in any exams. If you're going to fail for the 2 times, the third time is going to be the close of your life. They will send you back again. That's the danger zone again. They are not going to call your parents. They will just reject your visa, and you will be sent back to your mother country. But then again, any immigrant doesn't want to go back to the mother country with this sort of a failure. It's a big lifetime failure. So every immigrant will be very much focused, and there are students who fall into the failure categories as well. They might do a lot of illegal stuff as well. So they might get back to the country. Some of them run from the country to country. They might run to the other neighboring countries and save themselves. But that's not the motive of this particular case. And yeah, it's not recommended as well. It's illegal. So I would recommend you go with the process, follow the process, and there are a lot of questions what students would have right now. I would suggest them to be patient. Just get their process done. It's very slow process. Believe in the process, go step by step, get into the country, and then you will know everything there. You don't have to know everything right now.
Alright, that was a fun and a very interactive session with you, sir. I hope all our aspiring students have learned a lot from this session, from the time when they need to apply for the universities to all the admission criteria of those universities. I hope it's all clear to them. So before we end this session, would you like to share some reviews for our team at Byte?
Yeah, it's a new thing what I got to know, and you have been doing a lot of good stuff. Thanks for this interaction as well. And yeah, I would recommend everyone to look forward for more contents and keep subscribing.